Well, the sun finally came back. The humidity is a little bit high, but the garden looks great. UV is not too intense today. Skin feels good. We still got some things here left to plant. Some herbs. And we got some marigolds and zinnias. We have some lemon trees. Green squash. I already planted some watermelons. I took the best ones. We got the peppers with some tomato cages around them. And I put a few marigolds in there with them. And I seem to be doing pretty good. We got a pretty good sized pepper here. And here's some tomatoes that are not taken out of the seedling dish, and they're still kind of hanging in there. And these were in the same dish, and look at how they're thriving. And they have to be potted up to a bigger plant too. So then we take a closer look. And we took some raspberries that were a little over prime, and we stepped on them and squished them into the ground. Now this year we have raspberries growing, and these are new canes which will have raspberries next year. And then over here we have some, you guess, seedlings. Maybe you can give me your guess. And then some cucumbers that were left too late in the cups, but we're going to give them a try and see if we can get them to come back. And then over here we have a rose of Sharon and a mulberry to cover the side of our propane tank. And in the garden here, our parsley is looking good. It looks like it's going to start going to seed soon. And if I want, I can cut some off and dry it or put it in the freezer. And we have some melon plants, and yellow squash. There's another one. Our watermelon are in the back. We're going to add some cow manure. And then the radishes along the side, and they're going to come out and make room for the squash. And then we have a few here we're going to keep. They're going to go to seed, so we're going to get some seed from those to save. We have a potato plant that came up from scraps that we composted into the garden. And some Shasta Beckies. We cut some stems off and just stuck them in the ground when it was raining out in the fall, and they're growing green now. And in the back, the peas are still kind of languishing. They came back and they're looking stronger, so we're going to let them alone, see what happens. And then the bed with the leaves in the back there, the corn is just starting to pop up about 1 inch to 2 inches. Amongst morning glories and a couple of rogue bean plants. I think they got replanted. And we'll see what happens with that. And then our beans we pre-started and then put in the bucket. They're starting to come up about a foot now in the back, and we got the trellis ready. And then the potato bed next to it has a few bean plants on the end, and then a bucket behind that has cucumbers, and I poked them through the trellis so they'll get sunlight on this side. In the afternoon they get about 30 minutes of sunshine too, direct filters through the giant tree. And then gives us a little light. Then we're going to down here, I'm going to pot up some things and get them in bigger pots along with the tomato plants. And we have a few things back here. We have some chamomile, and these are supposed to be beefsteak tomatoes. We started late from seeds because the first one froze. in the greenhouse, so we had to start over. Here we got some in a bucket, and we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6. And squirrel got 1, got 2, but one of them I replanted. And then it looks like maybe this one and that one is going to go, and we'll be down to 3, possibly 2. Because once they take off, they're going to take over this whole bucket. So possibly those 2 are going to be the winners, but we don't want to pull them out and then have something happen to the other ones. So right now, they're okay. The potato plants are ready for some more hilling. And as deep as it looks, it's only probably about 6 or 8 inches of soil, so we only get 1 level of potatoes out of that. So we're going to add more potatoes, and then, we're going to add this cow manure with a bucket here and add it on. And then we're going to add another bag of leaves tucked in around them, because the potatoes will grow in the leaves if they have nourishment. So we're going to try that, because we don't have hay or mowed lawn to use. We could layer that, but that will also add heat to the garden. And it's already warm enough. So right now I think the leaves are a better deal. And then our tomato plant, take the screening off. We had a rabbit coming into the garden, so I took the potato lattice and put it up along the back and made a perimeter with the garden buckets and so forth. And nothing's been coming in here nibbling. The squirrels come in and they may paw a hole here and there, but they're really not interested. I leave them some dry toast or little things away from the garden, and they wait for that now. And I took some of the extra okra and pulled it out with my fingers on a rainy day and just tucked it in here, and it transplanted fine. Not even in shock at all. And we got some Swiss chard in here, carrots growing, and cauliflower. Took a hit from the cold in the greenhouse. I bought the plants and I set them in there, not realizing it was going to go down to 29. After it usually doesn't get that low. I thought maybe 33, 34, but when I got down to 29, it just set them back a little bit. So we stuck them in here anyway, see what they'll do. Take off our screen so our tomato plant can unfurl. I'll leave the metal because for some reason the squirrels are weary of anything that looks like a trap. So that alone will be a big help. And here we got a bag of bark chips, and we got a mystery tree growing in it, so I'm going to try to identify it because I don't have anything with leaves like that. And here's our maple trees, our sugar maples that we found in the garden, the seedlings, and I tucked them in the bucket, and they're ready to go in their own pots now. And we have more parsley that survived the greenhouse, and I put it out here, and it's 3 times the size it was. It's doing great. And so is our cabbage that we're growing for seeds, mainly seeds. So now we'll finish getting the cow manure in the garden. Oh yes, we have some red onions out in front here out of a bag, and they're already doing great. I could cut tops, pieces of the tops, if I want to use them for cooking and seasoning. And this is kind of our whatever garden over here, this strip. And here's one, you can see it's a red onion. And we got, let's see over here, our beans are really happy. They're wanting to climb up the trellis. So that last rain was a good soaking, and they're very happy. We're going to start giving everything some compost. I stuck a few okra over here as well, along with there's bunches of onions. The blue flowers are forget-me-nots. So it's kind of another whatever garden. This has got mostly sandy soil with some other things mixed in. Our lovage is taking off. And our red romaine, I'm hoping we'll get some seed from this and we can even start another planting of lettuce or even a second one in the fall. So we'll let that go. It looks nice and healthy right now. So, and we have some seed potatoes here left over, and they're doing good. They're starting to green up. They were kind of whitish and pale, and I found them in the basement like this, so I brought them out and they're taking off. So we're gonna take this bed here that's covered with bags and we're gonna plant them right in here. And that'll give us even some more potatoes. So, how's your garden doing? And if you don't have one started yet, tell me why. Have a good day.